Kim Petras says her style icons include Tippi Hedren and this surprising cartoon character exclusive. The pop artist stated, "The Bird's actress is her number one when it comes to design." Kim Petras pulls her style inspiration from many various locations. In an exclusive interview with people at the InStyle Imagemaker Awards on October 23rd, the pop diva, 33, revealed her number one icon when it comes to fashion is an iconic actress. "I've always had an obsession with Tippi Hedren and the Birds," Petras remarked, alluding to Alfred Hitchcock's 1963 horror classic, which served as Hedren's feature debut. "I saw that movie really young, and she's wearing like a minty green skirt suit, and for some reason, that just pops into my mind." As for another fashion icon in her book, Petras admitted, "Angelica from the Rugrats. You know, I love her." Petras recently released her new song, "I Like You Are Look," and an accompanying music video, in which she wears numerous Louis Vuitton outfits. "It was my first time styling my own music video, which was really exciting," the singer remarked. "I got all archival clothing, which was just fulfilling, and it was fully my vision for what felt kind of like the first time." As for what her go-to fashion credo is nowadays, the Grammy Award winner says it's all about trusting her intuition. "Follow your gut, your, spontaneity," she told people. Like, if your body tells you, "Oh, I feel insecure in this," or "I feel like I'm too much," trust it. Your body's right. "I Like You Are Look," from Petras' upcoming third studio album, is available to purchase and stream now. Kim Petras' articulation of her style icons, Tippi Hedren and Angelica Pickles, offers more than a playful insight into her wardrobe preferences. It encapsulates a broader evolution in pop culture, fashion, and identity performance. By simultaneously referencing a classic Hollywood icon and a hyper-cartoonish 1990s character, Petras constructs a spectrum of femininity that challenges traditional binaries: elegance versus irreverence, restraint versus chaos, nostalgia versus contemporaneity. In doing so, she demonstrates that modern pop artistry is not merely about music or image separately, but about the strategic fusion of multiple cultural codes into a cohesive, self-authored identity. This duality is particularly significant in the context of gender and queerness. Tippi Hedren represents an archetype historically controlled by patriarchal media, a figure whose elegance was mediated by the male gaze. Angelica Pickles, in contrast, embodies unfiltered assertiveness and ego-driven charisma. By bridging these worlds, Petras engages in an act of symbolic reclamation. She draws strength from both the polished elegance of historical femininity and the audacious, rebellious energy of postmodern girlhood. This act is a profound statement about agency in visual culture, particularly for a trans artist navigating spaces that have historically constrained self-expression. Her fashion choices become not mere aesthetics, but tools of empowerment, demonstrating that identity is constructed, performative, and deliberately curated. Petras' philosophy of trusting one's instincts, embodied in her approach to styling her own music video, further reinforces a concept of embodied authorship. In a cultural environment where celebrity images are often heavily mediated by stylists, publicists, and algorithmic pressures, Petras' insistence on following her bodily intuition signals a shift towards somatic creativity. The body as a site of knowledge, guidance, and authenticity. This approach resonates with contemporary audiences, particularly Gen Z, who increasingly value authenticity, self-determination, and vulnerability over perfection and conformity. By aligning her artistry with instinct and spontaneity, Petras models a postmodern conception of empowerment, success and visibility achieved not by conforming to expectations, but by trusting one's own internal compass. Moreover, her embrace of archival fashion pieces in her music video adds another layer of narrative depth. These garments are not just aesthetic choices. They are repositories of cultural memory. Through them, Petras situates herself within a continuum of fashion history, invoking past glamour while simultaneously subverting it with contemporary sensibilities. This blend of past and present mirrors a broader trend in pop culture, the digital age remix, where nostalgia is recycled, reinterpreted, and repurposed. Petras' work exemplifies how artists today navigate a landscape saturated with historical references, transforming them into expressions of individual and communal identity. On a psychological level, The interplay between Hedren's composed elegance and Angelica's brash energy mirrors the internal negotiations inherent to selfhood. Petras' choices reflect a balancing act of maintaining confidence while embracing vulnerability, of performing public-facing glamour while nurturing private authenticity. Her aesthetic becomes a visual metaphor for identity fluidity, emphasizing that self-expression is not linear but multifaceted. By merging these references, she constructs a persona that is both aspirational and relatable, theatrical yet grounded, a postmodern hero for audiences attuned to layered, multidimensional representations of identity. From a media and branding perspective, Petras' public articulation of these influences functions as a strategic act of narrative curation. Interviews, music videos, and social media posts no longer merely disseminate content. They craft ecosystems of meaning that shape audience perception. By revealing her stylistic inspirations while demonstrating personal authorship, Petras positions herself as a proactive architect of her own brand, controlling both the discourse around her and the aesthetic code she embodies. This calculated openness, appearing candid while managing narrative framing, exemplifies a modern celebrity strategy, authentic enough to engage, curated enough to retain control. Finally, Petras' work underscores a broader cultural evolution in how audiences perceive artistry, fashion, and identity. In an age of infinite digital reflection, where media is fragmented and attention is fleeting, the ability to synthesize past and present, classical and playful, polished and chaotic, has become a critical marker of resonance. Petras not only navigates this terrain, but models a blueprint for contemporary pop artistry, one that honors history while embracing subversion, one that values instinct as much as intention, and one that celebrates multiplicity as a source of strength. In sum, Kim Petras' invocation of Tippi Hedren and Angelica Pickles, combined with her self-styled music video, exemplifies the postmodern integration of fashion, media, and identity. She is not simply a pop star who wears clothes or performs songs. She is a curator of cultural meaning, a negotiator of aesthetic codes, and an agent of self-authorship. Through her deliberate choices, she demonstrates that in contemporary pop culture, visibility and authenticity are inseparable, and that the power of artistry lies in the ability to inhabit contradictions, embrace spontaneity, and trust the body as an instrument of expression. Kim Petras stands, therefore, as a compelling symbol of the future of pop authorship, a figure who proves that style is not just what one wears, but how one asserts agency in an ever-evolving cultural landscape, transforming personal taste into collective inspiration and private intuition into public resonance.